the Personnel Finance Committee is called the Personnel Finance Committee to order. First thing we'll have on there is the minutes of March 15th. I see no changes. Move that along. Personnel update.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just realized on the city income tax, I forgot to change the date. So it still says March the 15th, but it's for today,
Okay.
May the 17th. For the personnel update, the last update was in March. The only change that occurred was that we did hire a program coordinator. So her name is Gabrielle Robinson, and she started, I can't remember her hire date. It was,
We did
who
meet.
was it?
Third or fourth week now.
Yeah,
We met her at
Yeah.
what meeting was it?
Planning and economic development.
which is good. So as far as I know of, everything is going well. Other than that, that is the only change that occurred since March. So we're still hiring for the grant manager,
That position, CBC.
BG.
Oh.
We still haven't found anyone for the custodian. I believe we're probably going to not outsource it, but probably go to like recruiting place to see if we can get someone right that actually already went through the background and things of that sort. But other than that, that's the only change that occurred.
We did get some applications in for the custodian.
For the custodian, we have gotten applications, we have interviewed. It's just a matter of no one can actually go through the whole process. We had one person that went through the entire process and then just kind of went MIA.
So what is the common faith, I guess, to, where they fall off at? Where is it? Some
Background,
background.
unfortunately.
Okay. Finance director, which is,
Finance director position, we have 4 applicants, resumes that came in. We also are going through, well, I brought it up to go through, right, CFS, correct, which is Creative Financial Staffing. They are similar to what we were trying to do with MML, but MML had a waiting list and they couldn't get to us until like 6 months. So therefore, as far as the recruiting part of it goes, I guess it's a lot of people that's looking for positions in high places.
Okay.
So it's similar to that. However, I'm not really, we did this once before with Creative Financial Staffing. We had one success out of maybe like 4 people that came through them. But this is a new avenue as far as them actually going out and looking for people for us, as well as we updated our Paycor recruiting module, which means that it hasn't become live yet, so I'll be happy when it does. So the new module would basically do the same. So what it does is that like once we put a position in there, as far as like the finance director, treasury, they would actually go out and vet people like on Craigslist, LinkedIn, and invite people to come and apply for the position. That's why instead of people just applying, they would actually like do it for us, like invite people to apply, which is a good thing.
So these are the 4 that we have on Paycor.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. All right, and we're gonna look into the tax
Compliance.
tax compliance, officer. or whatever-
Correct, yes.
Whatever money.
We definitely need a person. It's probably, so I know right now we have a lot of cities that's looking for people as well, because I don't know what COVID did, but it just kind of did something to the economy
Uh-huh.
that people just don't want to work or are quitting. So we have other cities that basically are looking for people as well.
Okay. Okay, it's good. So we were gonna put that job out there though sooner or later.
Once the budget comes out, once I get the authorization to do so.
Okay. All right.
Did I hear budget? Budget. Wanda's not here? Yeah.
No,
Hello,
Oh,
excuse me.
Man, this is shady.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you good, City? You ready for, you got some more?
Nope, that's it for the personnel.
Yeah, these.
Question,
Go ahead.
what was the one, I only saw, no, and back up, I'm sorry. What was the one, the one interview?
Interview.
Yeah, for a position that Ms. Holiday mentioned before she got to, finance director. I was listening to the meeting on it.
I said we hired someone.
hired
We
someone.
hired
And I know she said we hired someone, especially in, economic development, but there was another position that,
For,
somebody interviewed.
custodian.
Oh, okay, and what happened?
I think the question was what was going on with the custodian position and what was the obstacles.
No,
Why?
no, oh, okay, okay, yeah,
That's-
I think that, yeah. I'm sorry, Ms. Holiday.
No problem.
I
But
think that's what it was, but I didn't hear that part, that portion. But they did interview.
we have been interviewing for the custodian position. I did say it was one person that actually went through the entire process
Okay.
and then just went MIA. She just stopped communicating
Really?
at all.
Oh, wow. Do we need to look at, Chairman Isom, a firm, a company? Do we need to look at a company
For
to
what?
do the cleaning of City Hall?
She's working on, getting,
I heard
I
that
know.
portion, but let me get
well,
to.
maybe that's something to look at, yeah.
Okay, Ms. Galladay made mention, 4 applicants for finance director, I only saw 3,
So,
I only saw 3,
okay,
and I'd like to see the
yeah,
4th.
one just came in, yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you, and if we could actually start looking at a firm of, a corporation that does cleaning, to come in and clean City Hall for us, we deserve better. We really do, especially our employees that are here on a daily basis, especially if you're a female,
Yes.
yes.
Right, that is- Mr. Duncan?
Yeah, especially if you're a male too.
Why are we
Should be some
discriminating?
clean, should be some clean bathrooms all the time. We were here 5 minutes late. How much did we miss?
You missed none, we just started.
Did
When you
miss
walk- I
nothing.
heard you walking up the door, walking up the steps.
They just recapped it for you.
Yes.
Chairman Isom,
Yes.
before we move forward, can we get a hard copy of, our, budget?
It's in the packet.
It's in, yeah,
Is it? Oh, in,
in the,
oh, okay.
income tax. Get an update on the city income tax now?
City income tax for the month of, I'm gonna do March, April, as well as May because we missed last month.
Oh, that's right.
So for the entire month of March, for the individual returns, was $13,993.01. For withholdings, $126,894.50. Total deposits, $145,465.51. Refunds was total of $35,501 with a revenue of $4,578. That was for March. For April, individual returns, $60,278.76. For withholdings, $183,929.18. Total deposits, $258,598.94. Refunds, $40,976 with revenue $14,391. To date for May, total returns, $27,326.81. Withholdings, $153,197.67. Total deposits, $224,032.32. Refunds, $10,058 with a revenue of $43,507.84.
Any questions, anybody? So year to date, we almost doubled in revenue. from
Year
20
to
years
date,
From last,
Well-
month of May last year.
yes. From this year to last year, May, correct.
Was money still coming in? for income
Money's
tax?
still coming in, yes.
I know.
Yes, it is. And also, Ms. Hildebrand, she did, I believe she updated the expense and projects for the income tax that's
Okay.
also attached.
Oh, for the alley, this is gonna be this,
Correct, of any expenses that has come out of that account.
okay.
Repeat that, please.
Ms. Hildebrand, she, on the back
Okay,
here,
okay.
she put a list of expenses for the
Okay,
projects.
So the
Correct.
city income tax was used on the alley?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it was. Some.
Yes. Wait, you got a question, Mr.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
asking,
Okay, go ahead.
I was asking, the city income tax was used on what alley?
It's gonna get used on alley. You know, we, the other night,
Which alley?
it's alleys in this inner city
Okay,
that we finna get ready to do. It's a big project. I think it's 2.2 million.
thank you.
Go ahead, Commissioner Adams.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I would ask if you would, send something forward. I don't know what it would look like. But evidently, we all should have a voice in it because some people just don't seem to care. And I think the residents, it would serve us all. I want to know, because there needs to be graver discussion prior to a meeting, you know, something that we're about to vote on at the same given time of a presentation.
Come out the tax.
The income tax review, no advisory board. Because it gives those that sit on the board an opportunity to know about not only how things work and how they should work, but the condition of different streets and stuff, and hear more from the residents.
I agree.
I don't think that we need to be just letting Avonmarsh and somebody else make those decisions, because I've had even some residents complaining about why everybody else isn't privy to getting such a nice job like the corner of Empire in Ogden.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the workers, well, they didn't say a lot, where they've given a lot of complaints about Ben Harbor truck always sitting there and they sit on a picnic table.
Yeah, so it'd be good to get that board. Clerk Moore, do we get any applicants?
There are no applicants, but we are looking at updating that board. People that were serving before, some of those positions need to be replaced.
Can we send out
Yeah, it'll go to legislative.
yeah,
Because I think they
Yeah,
have to
and
be.
not just
Yeah, so
legislative,
Different.
there's different ones. There has to be business owners, nonprofits,
Mhm.
residents, non-residents.
right,
So,
right.
Yeah, so the ones that we're currently serving that are able to fill those positions will be contacted to see if they want to continue to serve.
Thank you.
But we do have to find certain people to replace some of the other.
Yeah, I guess I was saying if we could actually advertise, yeah. Prior to it, those I mean, because there gotta be some applications to even go to legislation.
Mhm.
Thank you, Tiff.
Go ahead, Commissioner Henry.
Clerk Moore.
I remember that board was being there, but I've never seen it in operation.
I have.
Yeah, I've been here. It's, yeah, it was.
So it's been such a long time, it's
Yeah.
kind of fuzzy as to what it is supposed to do,
Mhm.
Yeah,
what they're supposed to do, what they can do.
advise.
So, there's a way that you can share that with the body so we can at least have a civil conversation and maybe some questions.
Clerk Moore.
Because if I can remember back to some part of that, it does set a little salty to my mouth when I think about it. So it might be that we look at how the board was set up
Mhm.
and make it conducive to what we need right now.
And thank you. Thank you, General Lady of the Third Ward. I concur.
Go ahead, Mr. Duncan.
is there a list of names that's on that board that I could get?
Yeah. Yes. I'm sure he'll-
Can we add one more thing, Honorable Chair, after Mr. Duncan?
Will I have to come to your office to get that? Or you can bring it up to a meeting? You want me to stop and come and get it? I'll
What's
do
your
that.
preference? What's your preference?
Bring it to the meeting. I appreciate you.
If we could actually bring those applications of, those that are still interested in sitting on that board before the commission, the full body for approval.
Thank you, Commissioner. Director.
Thank you.
Minister Donald, thank you. Sit.
I also did, well, I started a list and I'm pretty
Okay.
sure that it's probably gonna get longer,
Mhm.
as questions comes in. But, this year, and particularly, we have a lot of people asking questions in regards of the city income tax, how it works, who has to pay,
Mhm.
things of the sort. So I did start a frequently asked question list. That most of the questions that came in that I had time to actually put down on paper, that's attached as well.
That's be on the website.
I can put it on the website. It can be an ongoing.
It's good, 'cause I'm sure, I don't know, do you know the percentage or how many people are
Well,
complying or just don't?
it's hard to get a percentage without having an idea number of what exactly we're looking at. The thing is that that's part of compliance that we were discussing, is that once, because you have basically the people that actually live in the city
Mhm.
that has to pay income tax, 1% of all earned income.
Mhm.
Then you also have those individuals that does not live in a city, but they work within a city, that's also have to pay a 0.5% of the city income tax of all their earned income they earn actually in the city of Benton Harbor. A lot of people are kind of confused on that, or some people that say, I live in the city, but I don't work in the city, so why do I have to pay? Or I don't live in the city, I work in the city, but I shouldn't have to pay. Or, well, my employer did not withhold income taxes, so I don't have to pay. But none of that is true. It's regardless if your employer withholding income taxes or not, you're still obligated to pay the city income tax. So it's a matter of going after, first, getting an idea of all the businesses that's located in the city. And And that's like the first means to go after the business, to make sure the businesses are actually withholding income tax and actually filing income tax themselves.
Oh, okay.
We have had a couple of instances that come up, and I only address it when it actually comes to my attention.
Mhm.
So we have some businesses that are withholding income taxes from individuals' paychecks, but they never send it in to us. So then you have individuals file their income tax asking for a refund for some of the sort of money we never received. So that's when we actually have to go after the business at that point. But other than that, if nothing specific takes place, we wouldn't know. So it's a lot of compliance issues, because that's one. Then to make sure all of the businesses that's actually in the city and their employees are actually paying city income tax, because they're subjected, because they actually work in the city. Then going after everyone that actually live in the city of Benton Harbor.
Because they still have to fill out the city of Benton Harbor's income
Yes.
tax form.
Yep, and that's another issue as well. Even though if your employer is still withholding income taxes, you still have to file a city income tax
Mhm.
form. We are regulated just like the federal government and the state of Michigan. Just because you pay state income tax or the federal doesn't mean that you don't have to file an income tax return. Everyone is required to file an income tax return if they live and or work in the city of Benton Harbor. There's no way that I can determine that. It's like getting money in or paying a bill and don't have your name on it and expect for the consumer to know where that money came from. We wouldn't know. So you have to have that income tax return in order to justify where your money.
So people have been, employees have been having this money withholding for 4 or 5 years and still.
Right. It's just there. That's where the withholdings come in at. It's just there, but we don't have an income tax to tie it to.
Is it somewhere like on the website, or they can get where it spells out all the rules? You know, 'cause I know some people was asking me about the people that's on, pensions and Social Security, that those were exempt, I believe, when they came up with the ordinance.
They are, and it is on the website. I mean, I don't know how other clear you can get it, because it's all earned income. Pension, Social Security is not earned income. So it's basically regardless of your age, if you have a W-2 form, that is earned income. W-2, 1099
Mhm.
is all earned income.
So there's probably a number on there too, they can call if they have a question.
Absolutely.
Commissioner,
Thank you. I would be one of the guilty parties that addressed this when I came when I actually filed taxes that I hadn't filed in a couple of years,
Uh-huh.
and found out that I owed the city of Benton Harbor $1, thank God. But some questions did come to mind from others as to why can't we file electronically, and I didn't know that we could. And those people that Ms. Galladay just made mention of, that as funds just sitting there, that they are not aware of, that are there, that's theirs, I don't know what we can do other than revisit educating the community about how the income tax works and what's expected of them, as well as the city itself. And she explained something that reminded me of how the county of Berrien works when it comes to the friend of the court with their system. And that's basically sending out something to the employer to fill out for the employee. And I'm sure if we had a finance director overseeing things, that would probably something that's in place, or would be. I mean, that's a lot, and we can't expect from Ms. Galladay to do it all,
Right.
because it is going to take a team to just make sure that, that those things that she mentioned about compliance compliance.
Compliance.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, we don't want anybody to fail, we want everybody to succeed.
Any more questions?
Is it any way we can, get that money that they haven't paid?
That's what, the compliance, that's what we trying to get a
That belongs to
compliance
FEMA.
officer.
To
To
say
go
again,
after people that, you don't wanna go after, but
yeah, you do
Comply
it
and
for the
pay-
money,
to
they go
pay.
after us.
it's a,
So,
it's a city statute that.
It's-
City income tax.
It's an ordinance
Yeah.
that was passed by the people.
So the city can be missing out on what? I'm sure some people get refunds, but I'm sure we're missing out on a lot of.
Correct, right. I mean, and it's not necessarily money that's owed to people. I'm not for sure until I actually get a tax return to know if it's owed or not. But it's all compliance. Most cities in the state of Michigan, they have a complete compliance department. So it's more than just one person in a
I'm sure it's a
department.
lot of work, take time to.
It's different avenues of it.
Yeah,
So we can recoup that money?
in time. Good.
Now, is it on the, gross income or the adjusted gross income?
It's all earned income.
Okay, but.
So like once you do your tax return, it's all earned income, then you do have some deductions that can be made or additions or things of the sort, but it's all spelled out on a tax return.
Okay, so once there's deductions and all that stuff, the bottom line, whatever the federal government taxing them on, that's
Basically,
the city's taxing them on.
correct.
Mr. Henry?
I was through the chair, asked Ms. Galladay, would she kind of walk us through, when we first got it, we had, Grand Rapids staff in to help us. And after that, I lost it. But I know you were there, Ms. Galladay. Could you kind of guide me to as to what happened after Grand Rapids was either contracted for them for a year or something like that?
So Grand Rapids, okay, so this is how it worked as far as like the city income tax, like the association. Jennifer, who is the city administrator in Grand Rapids, she's basically, might as well say the head administrator. So when we incorporated the city income tax, Grand Rapids came down to make sure that we were set up correctly. And since we received a software, like the city income tax software that everyone in the city uses, we received that software like a year and a half late. So therefore, some of her staff came down to help enter information into the software system to get us halfway caught up. But as far as like on a regular basis, we all have an email thread that questions and situations, different situation comes up on a regular basis. That's why we have those quarterly meetings and things of the sort. And during tax season, we don't have meetings because everyone is so busy. However, a constant email thread between us is occurring.
So we're looking for an administrative of that program now.
The city income tax?
Yeah,
No, I'm the administrator of the city income tax. We're looking for
Just-
compliance,
of somebody that's gonna do compliance.
compliance, correct.
Okay,
Just making sure that everyone is in compliance. Because we also have invoices that was sent out that people they haven't paid. So therefore, I've been talking to Mr. Mitchell that one is a policy that is needed on how we're gonna go after people that haven't paid or haven't complied with the invoices that has been sent out. I know when former Finance Director Williams was here, that was something that he was going to do, but it never happened. But it's a policy also that is needed to come to the commission to approve as far as what the enforcement part of it is. because there's no reason to do compliance if we don't have any type of enforcement behind it. And depending on the cities, every city does things differently. Some just automatically take it directly to the credit bureau. Some take them to court, so it just really depends on what the commission basically agree upon how the enforcement goes.
Wow.
Thank you.
I guess my question would be, after listening to Mrs. Galladay, that we're about to undergo some more interviews for a finance director. And she just gave us clarity on something that was, the last one that was ran off was working on to make the system work better.
Right.
So now my question becomes, what are we going to do as elected officials to ensure that the next finance director gets what they are just due to run their department effectively and efficiently? Because some things were being withheld by our own city management. Something is wrong with that. Do we sit back and say nothing and just let things just run themselves? Or just run a person from a position? We need prospective people in their prospective places with the qualifications that they have. Just like she stated, she's the administrator. But even her being the administrator, there has to be a director of that department, which would be our finance director.
That's not how it works.
Well, I that's what I read in our charter, and maybe I misread it, but I'll reread it again, because I'm sure that's what it stated.
Thank you. That's it.
That's it.
No,
Thank you.
no,
Are all
it's
the
taxes.
major, companies in Benton Harbor,
It's
Intentionally
department, it is the
paying
state's
income
department.
tax?
Minister Gobble.
Sorry, all the
The
major,
major corporations and companies, are they all in appliance, paying their taxes?
I would say, I'm not for sure like what your version of all major businesses, but the ones that is in my mind, yes. Everyone have a different
Well, your
perspective.
mind is what I'm talking about, so, yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gobble. Next goes the financial report. We have the finance director here, but we do have an update. You see the finance in your packet. The major operating cash accounts. See the general fund as of 3/31 is kind of, we call it short. And go down to the utility fund, which is falling short too, as of 3/31. Although we did in April, the credit to active residential customers was processed on utility bills totaling $1,754,900,000. Cash of $1 million was transferred to the utility fund to make vendor payments, with the remaining amount transferred in May. Even with the $1,754,900,000 of the cash opera funds that was transferred in April and May, the utility fund and general fund cash balances remain low, as this transfer of cash address vendor payments that have been held from prior months. So that payment relief is still wasn't enough. We still falling short.
Need to take that.
Spending still needs to be for only general operating terms. Funds were received totaling $356,435,000 from the state of Michigan to partially fund the Paco Avenue Road project. If you look down, you can see where we at. You look down at the revenue expenditures by operating summary. You see the utility funds. You see the general fund as of 3/23. We at 75%, 75.1% complete. You know, the new fiscal year coming up. In July, you start. So you can go over that. You can see CDBG, CDBG, major roads. Going to, you see the opera lead line replacement summary. We just used some opera funds for the microphones. I think we'll passed that resolution Monday. I think that was $10,000 microphone.
Yeah.
Yes, microphone. Just go down, you can see the expenditures on things we have bought with the opera funds. Lead line replacement,
That shouldn't even be on there. It should be totally separate.
questions?
Page are you on, sir?
Wait, I was looking at the opera funds.
What page is
On
that?
the back,
Oh, page 4.
Thank you.
back to 3.
Is that
Yeah.
the cost, is that the cost of the wood chipper?
Yeah, the wood chipper was $57,113.
They're still using it?
Yes, I'm sure it should be working fine. And then you see the street sweeper, which I'm sure you have saw.
No, I was asking about the chipper. I haven't seen it in a while
Heard it.
or heard.
Maybe you gotta get some kind of video or something to,
Excuse me?
maybe we have to get us video. I haven't seen it neither. I know I'll be at work myself, but maybe we do need to see it out, you know, when they operating to make sure we,
Yeah, like
Get
every
our
time
money.
they pull it out, there should be a listing of it.
Where it's working
Yeah, and
we have-
where it's working and how long.
we have the,
before we get something that needs to be repaired.
did see the patcher truck out. That's been working. They've been patching holes.
Where?
Well, on my street, they patch holes. I don't know.
On your street.
On
Yeah.
on Hastings,
yeah,
I'm sure they got a
yeah.
plan how they do it, I think.
You live on Hastings.
Right.
Oh, so. I just haven't seen them. I know that
Yeah.
I know it wasn't our machine that patched out there between Lowe's and Gordon's.
No,
But those were
it's
some
just
great
the
ones.
opposite.
But I haven't seen our patch truck in Ben Harbor. And I ride the community
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
just because.
to spend that much money and not see it.
I seen it
is
yesterday.
hard.
It was yesterday, it was on my camera on the door.
Mr. Rabbit,
Go ahead,
Just-
Mr.
I've heard it asked if there's a work log for the Public Works, and I haven't ever seen results of that.
ever.
I know there's still interest.
Mhm.
There's a pothole right down in the parking lot down here that would be good to fix,
Yeah, I mean, why,
right there in
You
front of
think?
Senate. Right. I did see the street sweeper in action today.
Mm.
Thank you.
can I ask a question about the park?
He was talking to me. I'm trying to just.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll go last. I'm always a go last. You guys,
Interest in log, and I think that would go a long way
And I think her,
to have people understand that equipment is being utilized
On what
and what's
day.
being done. Huge.
Thank you. I'll
residents.
relay
There
that.
was just another little bit on that. The front end loader was out yesterday doing a stop sign that had been hit by somebody.
Mhm.
It left a big oil mess on the sidewalk, Hinckley and Water Street mess. Michi is now aware of that.
Oh, yeah,
I think I think he should be always aware of the condition of equipment. But wherever it is, it's leaving a lot of very dirty, dark oil. Needs an oil change at least, but needs to stop the.
Well,
Thank
do
you.
we,
know.
do we need to get the front end loader to follow the street sweeper?
They use the dump truck today. The thing has a bin and it dumps into.
Okay, but
whatever you-
I'm
Right.
saying,
Point of order, right now,
Or
we're
leave.
talking, point of order, hold on.
Because the buildup is so great.
We talk, this is, we talking finance right now. I know.
that, we talking finance, but we paid a lot of money
I
for
know, but
that street
let's
sweeper.
stay on track, and we can, I
Okay,
tell you what, we can talk about public works.
Yeah.
Let's finish this.
okay,
We can talk about public
yes,
works.
sir.
Get time. Any more questions about the finance? We can move. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Just,
Yes,
thank you for your
yes.
Participation. You know what? This is I like this meeting already.
I mean, we're ready.
I know,
Yes,
yes,
I love it.
I know. So next we have,
Wait, we have other questions
oh,
here.
okay.
We're on
That's
page
because
4.
numbers don't lie, people do.
We're looking at operating expenditures.
Yes.
And right there where it says income tax administrator, all the way over to the left, local road project.
What page?
What was that? That was 2.1 million
That's what we
city income tax?
just okayed.
Okay, that's what we just approved.
Yeah, with the
Okay,
alley,
okay.
cemetery,
So-
and streets.
I missed it, but how much is actually in our income tax budget that, to date?
Hold on. It should be on
Because
there.
I'm just hoping that we're not cleaning our pot when we have other dollars that were left over from,
No, we're not cleaning
the
the pot.
lead line.
No,
right.
it's still-
We're not cleaning the pot.
it's,
How much was it that we have altogether? Or how much we have left from that, 2.1 deduction mil? Ms. Holiday gone, come on now.
We got
missed
87, over 87,000 this year, so.
No, I wanna know how much is left from if we,
Oh, yes,
when
on
we
the-
subtract,
it's on the-
when we subtract the 2.1
Yeah.
million,
We have 87. It's right there.
87,000 left?
Yeah, see right there?
No, that's
No.
what you brought in year to date.
No, we
No.
got 5 million
Where?
grand total left. Look on this page.
Oh,
Right
okay.
here.
You see that, Commissioner? Oh, okay.
See, that's why it's important to the finance director
Thank you,
to be
Commissioner.
here.
You're welcome. Thank you for giving it to me.
Thank you.
Okay, so,
Yeah, I see it right there, yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna let you go on. We don't have to be here on that because somebody from finance should be here.
Yeah.
And I hope we're gonna fix that in the near future.
She's in training,
Okay,
that's why she's in here.
Can I,
But we hire a firm. FIRM, firm.
are we doing that
That's
as
more than
well?
one person.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Sir,
Yes, understand.
that was my next question.
Yeah. I wrote it down,
An
yeah.
update on that because we requested not only to be looking at a finance director, but a firm,
I got it
a
wrote down.
financial firm.
I got the wrote down.
Has any applications come
It
in?
haven't been out yet,
Oh, we haven't sent anything out?
no. Not on a firm. I'm still looking at finance director right now.
Okay,
And looking at a new agency to help us fill this position.
Is it free?
good question.
I don't think it's free.
You don't think
So
so?
we did get another applicant, so we'll look at that.
Okay.
Make sure you get it.
Is it in our email?
I'll have to send it to you.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
Chair,
Yes,
would
Commissioner.
you please see if you could give us an update on how much we've spent on the search for a financial director up to date, please?
I sure will. I'll get
Ask
that
staff to present that to us all.
from,
So
since we lost the last.
4 years or 3?
Oh, you're talking about total?
You're talking about the search itself.
For the search itself,
4 years or 3?
since we've been looking for one,
4 years or 3?
how much have we spent? We need to see that,
Yeah,
to see if we wanna pay some more people.
dollar amount, yep.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Next, we have, next, we have resolution authorizing a claim for protecting the Michigan pension grant.
What? Okay.
So right here, you look in the note, protecting Michigan pension draft grant resolution application packet approval at June 5th meeting. This application is due June 15th to be eligible to receive funds from the state. The grant will assist the city in addressing its pension funding ratio of 37.8%, which is way below the required 6% fund ratio. The city could receive up to $6 million to address the pension issue. March 21, and yeah, that's it. The city could receive up to $6 million to address the pension issue. If you do have a pension-
To address what was that last thing?
The pension,
Pension,
this is what this is about. So
pension. Gotcha.
This is what this resolution is about,
Okay.
authorizing a claim, so we can, you know, the pension been hitting us hard,
Sound good.
So what are you reading off of?
the
His
financial.
notes,
I got
It's in.
no, his notes.
Oh,
So this will help the city big time, so we get this resolution. It'll be on the next commission meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
okay, so,
So-
and it really is a good thing. What does it, or how does it affect, past employees or any that are deceased? Who's dependents,
I can forward that.
children or wife, widow?
Commissioner.
What it does, it'll address the fund itself, you know, so if they're part of the fund, you know, if they get a pension or, you know, anything now, what this grant would do would help the city,
Is that all
struggle.
employees?
It would,
Wait,
whoever part of the pension, that's getting a pension,
oh.
Yeah.
There'd be conflict
would it be a conflict?
for you
Be no conflict.
being a ex-city,
Where, what this
know.
resolution is doing is actually, is passing. a
our
resolution.
support,
No,
or to allow.
It's asking the state for money
it's actually.
Oh,
to help pay,
okay, and I mean, then we, as we should, yes,
Yes.
so that's what that's for.
yes.
And if you want more information, if you look at today's agenda that was sent out,
Okay.
when you go to that actual resolution,
Mhm.
there's 81 pages of information,
I'm
so.
sure, okay. I mean, but yes,
Yeah.
yes, I mean, and with the billions that we got, why can't we ask for 10? Or 15 even?
Well,
Shoot, they know we underfunded and they know why, because they held out on revenue shares for so long. And when Joe Harris came in here, I mean, I've been looking over some documents that I don't want to throw away, but when he put even the fire and police together, he knew that that was not going to save any money by doing so. But yet the pension was still underfunded.
They've been struggling with pension.
Yeah, and the state of
So-
Michigan knows it. That's why they're making it available, and we need to ask for more, but we'll start with this.
so does that mean all of that back pay that we have been paying for the last 20 years or 15 years, that means that's gonna go away?
Nope.
What is this money actually going to do for that money that we owe?
And for some of those pensions that go up 100%.
So I'm trying to figure out what the money, I love money. When they give us money, it's good, but
Okay.
what is the money gonna do for our pensions?
It's our general, yeah.
Especially that backlog that we owe.
Well, I think it would definitely, help make the fund solid. Because you have to, each year they do what they call the actuary, go over your whole pension system and seeing how much you done brought in, and they make these projections, you know, it's a number person,
Okay,
I can't, but it would help, right now, we're always behind on it. You know, I mean, it's a struggle to keep up with the pension, cause folks living,
There's a reason.
folks living a little longer, plus, some, some of the last ones got some pretty good, pension benefits, so
They're steadily,
that was an extra burden on the, pension funds. And then, some of the investments, you know, with stock market crash, so there's a whole lot of factors in there that, play a role of what you got left in there, pay pension with, so.
Yeah.
$6 million would definitely be a great help, you know. Because eventually, say if we couldn't, if the city ran out of money to pay it and have to start getting it from somewhere else, that's just more burden on the taxpayer. So,
We're not giving them that.
I would ask that we start looking at a way or start lobbying our state elected officials to help fix this situation that some of our past elected officials voted for somebody to be getting, I mean, up and over 100% of a pension that steadily rises.
well,
That's not fair to the citizens of Ben Harbor.
you're talking about the cola costs.
Yeah, whatever that is,
Uh,
it's not fair.
But like you say, they
Oh, it can be fixed, and the emergency manager, that's what he should have been fixing.
didn't do it, but I think once you give it to them, it's
Can we revisit that, or
Man,
what you already gave, what the past commission okay to give. Done deal.
it's a done deal?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got
This
it.
is a home
They
rule.
approved
Wait a
it.
minute,
They
wait
were
a
already-
minute. See how y'all cut me off when I'm talking?
laws change all the time.
You know, they gonna like this. Depending
Talking
on
about
when it's
that,
drafted.
talking about you know, was
You
just,
said-
that was just a greedy bull.
I don't know what the answer was. That's why I said, you guys start talking, I don't even know what the question is no more.
Pension.
Yeah, so what is the answer? See, now you don't know the question.
Like you say,
And I
everybody
don't
started
need-
talking, so I don't know what you asked, really.
Well, what were you answering?
I bet you said, somebody said, can you take the pension from them? No.
No, I didn't.
Not
I
take
didn't
the
say
pension
that.
from them,
Or he said some benefit.
go back to the original and take away the greedy meat that they put in for buddies and friends.
Probably, you know,
The government can do anything, they can change anything. That's what laws are, that's what legislation does, that's what it's for.
So they actually wrote themselves up some money after they're left their job.
No,
This-
That's what the pension is.
the pension,
They work for
whatever
it.
the pension, they negotiate those in contracts. Those are negotiated between the, city and the unions.
It's all set in stone.
Yeah, so once they come to agreement and they ratify it, you know, it's done. deal.
So with this,
Unless we can prove all of them was crazy.
okay.
Or
Go back
crooked.
to court.
so,
Or crooked.
Or that,
so the financial impact with this, the one-time grant award will improve the city's funded ratio of 37.8% for its qualified retirement system, MERS, as of December 31st, 2021. So definitely needed, so we're gonna make sure we get this, city manager can get this moving forward. Thank you. Next, we have, resolution approving a 3-year extension for Reman Robinson for auditing services.
So-
We've been using them for a while now.
how long is a while?
I don't know how long we've been here.
I know it's
Since
been
I've
over 10
That's
years.
11.
2011.
Okay,
So,
I was right. So
here's a resolution for it.
I
Look
would-
at it.
I would,
Okay, just me, Commissioner. they've been
Speed up.
serving us for 11 years.
They've been serving.
And we've been getting clean audits. It's a proposal to extend the auditing service contract attached with Riemann Robertson for an additional 3 years for the audit of the city fiscal years ending in June 30, 23 through June 30, 25. And the financial impact, this agreement for 3 years will increase to $55,923. The financial audit, or 10% compared to 2022 due to the high inflation rate over the past year, which affected all service industries. The remaining 2 years will have a moderate increase of 3% per year. If a single audit is required, the cost will be $5,000 in 2023, with a 9 to 10% increase in the remaining 2 years due to technical nature of the increased federal requirement for a single audit. So, any questions on the audit? Just confirm
Basically, what they're saying, you lock it in at this price,
for 3 years.
and if it go up, then we still got to top this.
Anybody got any questions?
You know we do.
You had already
And you
looked
should
up.
have been.
You had already
I was
looked
looking
up.
at my card.
Okay, thank you, sir. I would like, I stood here in this chamber when the city went into emergency,
Uh-huh,
and the same firm, I've been waiting for this,
okay.
because I think it's time that we put in, I think it's time we do a search for auditing firm. This is when we went into emergency management. And some may be blind to what was going on because you may not have been here.
Right.
And I think that it would just do us justice to do a search. And that's what I would personally like to see.
Thank you, Commissioner Henry. Commissioner Adams. Commissioner Henry.
Thank you, Chair. So, took us a long time
Uh-huh,
to get us to convince the body that to have the same firm that did the accounting and do the auditing too.
mhm.
So it took us a long time to get that across, and we finally got this firm to do the auditing.
This firm, okay.
Yes, so we've watched them do the work. But I think if we really start our search for our finance person, and we would get a lot better deal than Plant Moran if we hired them. And it's an easier search for us to find a auditor firm than to find a financial, city financial person, tip firm.
Mhm.
This one is already there, know all about us. And we
Yes,
probably will do a great job and give us a whole lot of money back from what we paying Plant Moran. So,
Ooh,
So, Commissioner, so what you telling me, they did the financials for the city? Not the auditing, you know what I'm saying,
right, just like Plant Moran is the firm
this company did.
that we
Right.
hired, they didn't come to this meeting because they're saying that it's not the firm that they're hiring, but we paying firm money
Mhm.
right.
to price. So I'm saying to you that this firm here has proven to us that they have the capacity to do audits, as well being a firm, have the capacity to handle the Benton Harbor's finance as well. We'll save a lot of money. We'll find a firm that can do auditing faster than we can find a firm to do government finance.
I don't think they can do both. You want them to do the audit and then
Oh.
the finance?
Uh-uh.
You're just saying, get rid of them as doing the audit and finance, audit and get these, get them to do finance.
Have that conversation with
Give
them,
them an opportunity to hire in as a firm.
have that conversation with them at least and see what kind of,
Huh. I see
But
what you're saying.
I'm trying to cut down on the expenses.
That's right.
I
If
get
you
what you're
don't,
saying.
if you can't show me, and I count other people's money real fast too. So I counted a lot of money being spent
Yeah.
on the search. So what do I do when I cut my finger? I put a Band-Aid on it and
Right.
stop the bleed.
You know,
We are bleeding and we want to stop the bleed with professional Band-Aids or whatever we need.
but see, I can be a professional pencil whooper too. Okay.
So that's it. I'm just throwing out something that,
Yes, I got it wrote down.
I'm just throwing out something that may work, it may not, but either way it go, we still need a firm.
Right now.
We are not going to find that financial director that'll come in, that's bona fide, to step right in and get government down the path.
No,
And if you think you're gonna get, just like the last 3 finance directors that come in and left
okay.
because of whatever their condition was, and we all know, it's gonna continue to happen. It's not gonna go away.
I hear,
We bring a firm in, they have everything we need. They'll be accountable to who? The 9 officials.
exactly.
Because right now,
Yeah.
that's what our charter says. Our financial director is accountable to us.
Yeah,
But Plant Moran was put here
yeah,
and they follow a different rule.
yeah,
They go to the city manager
Yeah.
and the mayor.
yeah. When we're all,
So right
supposed,
now,
they're supposed to
right now,
answer to
so-
all.
So, I'm just saying, let's get a firm and stop all of that. And then we can search, take our time and search and find the right applicant to be
So-
our.
So are you saying, gentlelady of the third ward, that
Right
the
now,
finance, that the chair and co-chair should have a conversation with Reman and let them know that we may be searching for a firm if they don't have a problem with working with the 9 elected officials? If they don't have a problem with answering to the 9 elected officials about the city's finances?
front of order. Right now, we have in front of us, they asking for
No,
the audit right now.
no,
An extension, that's what's in front of us right now.
no.
But I like that conversation though, we'll continue
We
with that.
can't have it both. We can't have both of
So
them.
right now, we
But
gotta,
we have to take our priorities.
No,
And
I
put
think
them
we
in
need to
place.
start searching for
When is the
another
next
firm.
audit that we have to do, that they have to do
Another
for
audit.
us?
it's coming up,
Yeah, our fiscal year ends June
it's
30th.
coming up.
The next audit.
Exactly,
That had to be audited.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming up.
And you know that where's our city manager and the deputy director manager?
Well, my,
And no
So-
director, finance
maybe you can still
personnel.
have that conversation.
Yeah, we do that, we do that. If we move this forward. Next, we have, discussion, separation of utility billing.
Will you guys be doing that?
That's what we discussing right now, discussion. I wasn't aware of it.
What?
Commissioner Henry gave me some background on it. About, I guess it used to be separated, Commissioner?
Tell the
Yes.
truth now. Commissioner Henry didn't give you
Oh, I
that.
thought
No,
you said.
Mr.
Who did that?
I thought you
We
told me.
sit there in this room, it was Eagle and 2 other,
Yeah. but I'm saying-
It came up in a
helpers.
conversation.
yeah, they told you that, I didn't tell you
Mr.
that.
Little,
Help us
Mr.
on this
Little said that he quote unquote saw that it was cost saving. I think that it needs to be separated. And I think that we need to make that
It used
decision.
to be like that, you know,
Ever since I know.
it was all in one bill.
One bill, yeah, but I can see the.
No, I grew up
Okay,
here.
okay,
see what-
I grew up here. I never
Okay.
knew what the trash.
Let me say what the state of Michigan
Say
said.
it, yeah.
So we went into a convention about recycling.
Mhm.
And they said, Ben Harbor is 40 years behind in recycling. We're gonna try to find a way to bring you guys up.
Right.
Right? But then what the problem was, they had nowhere to put the money because everything is grouped together. The
Mhm.
sewage, the trash, and
Water.
water
Yeah.
and capital improvement and
Yeah.
whatever else stuck in there. So they said if they had their own, then they could,
Separate trash.
yeah, they could put it all in one thing. And the citizens can pay, they could all pay at once if that's what they wanna do.
Mhm.
But if I can remember back in the day when my mother would send me, and we didn't have a whole lot of money, she put $5 on that one, $10 on that. And so we got to do this because that's gonna pile up our money. And we really need to look at more than one of those.
Mhm.
Gene Clark Park is another avenue that needs to be by itself. So we can monitor how much money Gene Clark Park
Mhm.
actually generate and to put more emphasis on where the money is being generated.
Mhm.
So this is something that needs to be done across the board
Mhm.
for a lot of things. And we gotta do it fast because there's been money already.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another set of money and a third set of money, but after that, it might not be any money. So we have to do what we have to do now, right now, so we can be ready and be the squeaky wheel, because the squeaky wheel get the oil.
Yeah, I was here with Commissioner Henry in that meeting, and the ladies from England did say that separating the trash from the bill would help us get funding for recycling.
Exactly.
And that's why I put it on the agenda. You know, I don't know how much more, I don't know how you can do it every 3 months, or how you, every quarterly.
I know, some, couple other communities, as a matter of fact, in township used to, you had, cause some people wasn't hooked to the,
Sewer, water.
water, or, trash. So they had separate,
It's all separate.
bills, you know, you got a trash bill if you decide to use their trash, cause there's optional. Where ours is you, as resident in the city, you have to use our service,
And then not
Which-
everybody
which-
does.
which is a good thing for us. Business, that's not required. We don't require business to use. our
So
service.
a rental property is considered a business?
Or if you got, three or more units in it.
Okay, okay.
if
So I
it's-
didn't know that.
But if
Okay,
it's a single unit, you are
Okay.
required. If
Okay.
it's a double unit, you are required.
okay,
But if it's 3 or more, then they could consider that commercial, and
Okay.
you don't have to, you get it. Matter of fact, you're supposed to get a dumpster,
okay.
but, we need to change that for, I had to deal with the utility service guy, a 4 unit, but only had one person. The problem I had with the dumpster, that everybody in the neighborhood used the dumpster, so it jumped all over the yard.
Yeah,
The inspector come chase me, you know. But what they allowed me to do, since I only had one person in the building, because I just shut it down, just had one person in basically for security.
Yeah.
And they allowed me to get a regular cart.
Oh,
I got rid of the dumpster.
yeah,
They got a regular cart, and I paid for each cart, so.
okay.
And that took care of the problem, no more, you know, they don't see the dumpster no more, so they don't
Yeah,
dump stuff.
that makes sense.
But we need to change that to allow that, if it's feasible for a person to use the dump, plus it'd be more money, since we own it.
Yeah,
We own the
yeah.
company now instead of just, contracting it out. I see, bar recycling, because I've been kind of following up with it too, that if we miss our opportunity,
exactly,
You know.
exactly.
And so if it take separating the bill to get the funds, then,
Yeah.
you know, that's.
Separate the bill.
Yeah.
Commissioner Henry,
Clerk Moore, you got any?
we been on this for how long?
Mhm.
How long?
Yeah.
15, 20? Oh, hey.
Clerk
It's
Moore,
time.
you got about the billing, you got any information?
Yeah, so I did talk to Rhonda about it, and she said that they would have to look into our BSNA program, see how that all works with the payments and keeping everything separate. From what she had recalled that she thinks that they did prior to her was they put it on the bill together to save money.
Exactly.
Well,
But
I mean,
it is
there
what
are
it is.
trash companies
Yeah.
that bill every 3 months because it cuts down on the paperwork.
Yeah.
So that's an option too.
Yeah.
Then you're only sending out 4 additional bills instead
Yeah.
of 12.
Exactly. Actually, our water bills used to come like that back in times past, every 3 months.
Mr. Duncan?
so we talked about this for a long time. Are we gonna separate those?
That's what we discussed right now.
I'm asking, are we?
This
We
what,
got 4 commissioners in here. Are we?
this what we working, discussion, that's what we talking about.
Nah,
It started with discussion.
Ain't you ready to go home and eat?
I'm starved, you ain't hungry.
Yeah, I is.
I wanna say that, did Rhonda give us a time frame on when she was gonna get response or anything? Because I talked to them, some weeks ago. I called downstairs and I asked them, how do we separate the bill? So whoever answered the phone gave me the number to the B&B billing, and I called them. And so far, I asked them,
Mhm.
and they haven't gotten back to me. So my question to the chair, to the Madam Clerk, is did she give us a time frame? Because we don't wanna do government time frame. We wanna do it now, yesterday.
Yes, I don't have a time frame.
It's,
Then if this is gonna be moved forward with speed, ask the chair to make sure that the city manager and Rhonda know that we wanna answer the meeting.
this B and what is it?
BSNA,
Is that?
that's our accounting system.
Just- So they don't come, nothing,
Citywide.
them bills don't come from city, they come from another, the
No,
bills,
so that's just the program that the city uses for their accounting.
so they come from them to our addresses, not from the
I
city.
don't know how the water department bills them out. I'm pretty sure that they contract with somebody to take care of all that. But what she's saying as far as separating them when they come in the
Mhm.
system.
It's just-
It's paid on a separate bill, then it seems like that'd be.
Well,
Okay.
they all are on one system,
Right,
trash. Of course now sewage and water go together,
yeah, yes, yeah, that.
so that's generated downstairs on that floor. Your trash bill is generated down there, your water bill, your sewer bill, and I don't know what else is not generated from that department. So why, and they send the tally to them and they print it out and send it to us. So what is the problem when it's all downstairs in one department?
Because the trash is just one flat rate.
Yeah.
It's 37.
17 something a month for you, yeah.
And-
And then if they got any extra or something, they have.
And then, so the recycling portion of it is going to lower those bills.
Yeah.
But we can't do it unless we
That's what we,
set the foundation up right.
that's right, that's what we're doing now.
I think that the committee should ask her to look into what it's gonna take to do
Right.
that, so we have specifics.
Okay,
With the quickness.
yes. So we'll do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And can you add, G-Clock Park in there too, please?
They should be able to keep track of what they get in for just Gene Clark Park.
No, we need our own line item, so whatever comes in the Gene Clark Park or goes out for Gene Clark Park, we'll know.
No.
Then the same thing we're gonna need for Ox Creek too. You watch. It's gonna be a big thing and we're gonna be able to break it down where we can understand it.
How much work being done, how much money being allocated.
Bottom line,
Everything.
I can go back to remember when Jody Linkwich, she was left here as our financial director. She was a young, just graduate. But she taught me so much from understanding government and how it run, because she did it simple. And that stuff that they doing downstairs with the water, don't nobody understand that. They can't tell you what a unit of water is.
That's bad. They don't need a job.
Question. How do we know, or do we actually know to date how many residents' bills have been paid, what we, dedicated to each resident, which was 700 each? Was it not?
Yeah, someone was lower though.
Okay,
I
but
get that information
even
from
if that's
Ron.
the case, do they
Whoa,
get,
whoa, what you
do
say?
that person get a credit?
Yeah,
of the other?
everybody got a credit, yeah.
What you
No,
say?
everybody didn't get a credit.
I'll get that information from Rhonda.
Rhonda.
But you said somebody got lower amount.
Well, if they owe, they got the 700, but if they owe, they deduct.
Right.
I got
And
that.
if they owe anything over that 7, it needs to be paid.
Pay, yeah, they
Yeah.
gotta start
Yeah, it makes
Payment.
sense.
paying.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we break it down, then it's easier to not pick up their trash one day, one
Okay,
week,
so,
than to shut their water off.
so just in case somebody else has this problem or it arises, I think it should be addressed. Say a person moved or something like that, and they have a bill being put on hold, and that bill is not being paid.
How you put a bill on hold?
I don't know, but just look into it.
Gotta need an
Stupid
address.
idiots as it will do.
You need an address and a date to do that.
We'll be giving around about the,
I think I've answered her question.
oh, go ahead.
If you were asking how many customers got a credit,
Mhm.
if I did this correctly, 2,507
Okay.
all got a $700 credit.
Was that all,
2,507.
was that all the residents,
Should be all the active
Active.
residential,
Active
Yeah.
active
okay.
residential accounts.
including those that have been paying their bills, they got
Yeah.
their credit?
All
They
active.
get the
Good,
credit, yeah.
good.
So how
Good.
does that show for citizens that, their water bill has been paid?
You see a
Credit.
minus on your bill,
A credit.
Yeah, you have credit.
credit. You'll see, if you look at your bill, you'll see a minus.
So say if you owe
Yeah.
$100 and
And
they
you
gave
get
you
700.
700.
Now you got 600 credit.
Yeah, you'll
Ooh, no.
We'll have to pay till that $600.
But see,
is gone.
if we separated that,
Trash, see?
it would all go in. So we behind time,
See, when we paid that,
please.
when we gave that 700, it paid 700 towards water, sewer, and trash.
Trash.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And
exactly.
capital
Since they
improvement,
all there.
Exactly.
and anything else.
So in the future, if something like a water situation arises, people are still going to be held accountable for their trash that's still moving. Yeah, and that separation needs to take place, so I would like to see it come forward. But I would
Yeah,
definitely,
I'm giving Rhonda, we're gonna work.
yeah,
And the last thing, we got the budget now, the budget, make sure you
Oh.
say, this is the last thing, we gonna discuss it, look at it. Review it, look at it,
It-
we're gonna have a special meeting next week. And it's 2 weeks, or next week probably.
it should be next week,
Next week, I think.
cause I'm not gonna let it cram this down my throat or our throat, because we should have been meeting on last month.
It'll probably be June.
So we'll have a special meeting,
So
and
let's have
so,
to have a budget hearing.
yeah, so write down your, send your, questions, your, whatever you wanna, amendment you wanna
Send.
see.
Send.
Send to,
Okay,
the manager, commissioners, all us, and the clerk, and
Everyone.
finance, Rhonda. Your amendments, you see someone there you wanna say?
Questions, when you're going through the
Good question.
draft, any questions you have?
Okay.
I'm waiting till the night for.
I wasn't.
Read the budget.
Yes, please don't, please review it way ahead of time.
So there you go. Thank you for coming.
Oh,
Good meeting.
one,
What you say, Commissioner?
no, I was gonna tell you something, but,
Yeah, with that recycling thing, yeah, that's what the lady told us about.
yeah, well, we really into it now.
Yeah.
And I think I really pinned down a location. We're gonna try to get the Brownfield to work with us.
I did my part, helping get